What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you see, check out the entire episode at patreon.com/partywithstrategy. Every single week is a bonus episode. That's 4 episodes a month for $5. In a time where everything's overpriced, we're bringing back the clearance rack, baby. Let's go, champ. We'll see you over there. Enjoy the preview. Welcome back to the Party with Strategy podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. Strat Pack's in the building. Let's go, champ. Just a little preview today. I decided that this one definitely needs to go on the Patreon because we got a wild boy in here today. You never really know what he's going to say. He claims he's black, so he likes to drop the N-word, but clearly, you know, the AI detection of YouTube's new censorship model is not going to be able to detect who adopted you. You know what I'm saying?
It's not adoption. That's biological.
Well,
it's like it's just genetics. How's he's mixed?
I don't buy it. Your eyes are blue. Your mustache is blonde.
You honestly look more mixed than I do.
Yeah.
Now that I'm looking at you.
I look way more mixed.
Yeah.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah.
Let me introduce you to the arch nemesis. Everybody's favorite opener. The burn god himself, Matthew Parker.
Here I am.
And before we can really officially start this episode, I just need you to make a public apology to Benjamin himself, Cutswell. I need you to tell him that you're sorry.
Which camera should I look? This
you
camera
didn't
here?
mean it. That's your camera there.
Okay.
And, you know, I understand if you were upset that he maybe asked you to hold his laptop while he was setting up.
Yeah.
And, you know, these things happen. We're in nightclubs. We're drinking alcohol.
You know.
Some of us are doing cocaine sometimes. Used to.
Yeah.
And, you know, it gets a little crazy in there, but I think you're a decent guy.
You think so?
Aside from all the slurs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
dude, this is off to a flaming start. Oh, my mom was like, "Yeah, what are you going to talk about on the podcast?" I was like, "I'll probably like music and like, you know, DJing, living in New York," and just immediately canceled. Benjamin's a terrible name.
No. Hold on. That's not how you start an apology to somebody. That's not how you start.
I'm gonna insult you. And then I'll apologize.
I feel like if you went by Benny, that would be dope.
He does go by Benny. I decided to use his government full representation.
You want me to go?
Yeah, I would love. I mean, I'd like to get started, and we can't get started until this.
Do you think he'll
happens.
actually watch this?
No, but I'll send him the clip.
Okay. Benny. Next, how should I say? I don't have this prepared. I don't have a apology prepared. What am I apologizing for? Being a better DJ? What am I apologizing for? Playing good music, building a room?
No. You didn't build that room. You burned it down to the ground with malicious intent because he was not respectful of your whatever you felt.
He did not thank me for opening.
He didn't thank you, and he probably came in a little hot. Benny comes in hot sometimes, and I get that. I love that about him. He's on fire, and I can understand if you felt disrespected by somebody coming into your residency and, you know, directing you a bit.
Yeah. Honestly, like, in hindsight, being fully transparent, in hindsight, I wasn't that mad. I just thought it was kind of funny.
But you had malicious intent is what I'm getting at here.
I think I had somewhat malicious intent in the sense of I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was an intentional, like, I'm gonna make these guys look bad intent.
Well, yeah, I don't think that you could do that.
No, and that was my whole thing. And that was my whole thing. I was like, well, if they're good enough, this won't be a problem.
Yeah, it was fine. We had a great night.
So, I mean, like, on the topic of being burned, yeah, probably shitty. in hindsight, but fuck it. You
And
want
that's
to be in
why
the big leagues, you got to be in the big leagues. Ain't that right?
I mean, there could be some truth to it, but there's definitely a better way to, get yourself in with the right people and having a nice network in the DJ community and being able to go out to Arizona and hit up the god himself.
Yeah.
And maybe even have him offer you his spare bedroom that you could sleep in and save some money.
That'd be nice.
He cooks a good steak. I mean, there's other ways to go about climbing the ranks.
Yeah.
I don't think that burning some out of town headliner that comes into your city and expecting to get anything out of it is ever going to do anything for you. But I've been proven wrong before.
That's true. No, like for real. Yeah. I don't really care that much. You know what I mean? Like on the topic of burning, I've stood on this since day one. If you're not good enough to follow up, one could say I burnt you in a sense on Friday because I was playing popular songs but I feel like we complimented each other just fine.
Well, I will say this about Friday and being burnt. I was burnt out. I don't think I've experienced a night like that in a long time. That felt like, have you ever had a DJ nightmare where you can't pick a song?
Oh yeah.
Where you just you're searching for it and you're spelling it right and it doesn't pop up, and like you can't even think of what song you want to play next, and you're just fucking absolutely in your head and not anywhere in that room.
Yeah.
That was me on Friday night, and it was horrendous. I was depressed about that all day Saturday. You should talk to my girlfriend. I was moping around. It was it was a horrific night for me. That being said, I don't think you burned me at all. You can't. We're going like B to B, and there's a thing, but there's a huge difference between the mindset of like fuck this guy and the mindset of like friendly competition almost.
Right.
Like, there's moments in DJing when you're playing with your best fucking friend and you guys are going at it in the most fun and complimentary way and competition.
I mean, like I didn't go into that night with like malicious intent though. You know what I mean? Like I hit him up.
It was the laptop thing.
I hit him up before the set. I actually hit him up before the set, and I'm not trying to defend myself because at the end of the day, burning somebody is shitty. And if you're a DJ, you shouldn't burn people. There's the apology right there. But I hit him up and I was like, yo, like, you want to kick it? Like, what are you doing while you're in town? Like, I'd love to meet you guys.
And he iced you.
And he iced me. And then he was like, oh, by the way, dog, can you set my laptop up? And I was like, the fuck?
And that just
like,
set you off.
Dude, it didn't set me off.
That set you off on a tear.
I just felt like he didn't take me seriously. And I was like, okay. And so then I went in and did a good job. Objectively played a good DJ set. The only reason that you guys were mad was because I did a good job. And that for me is like, I understand the burn like that conversation, but I did a good job.
No, it sounded good.
So I feel like
after we connected and you apologized to me and I wasn't even that upset. I just jumped in on the fun.
Yeah.
He got on Twitter and it became a thing, and I was like, I gotta get in here. This looks fun. You know what I'm saying?
I need to be a part of this.
So when we talked after, it was like, yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like it's I just like to talk shit.
No,
which is why I brought you here today. And
I sent I think 8 or 9 like 22-year-old girls at you guys.
Well, there was definitely some trans people in my DMs, which definitely seems kind of like your
kind of my speed.
Yeah,
I do live in Brooklyn.
Yeah. There was a couple trannies in my DMs talking crazy. I was like,
I'm going to tread so lightly here.
What?
Just this conversation.
Oh, you could drop an N-bomb, but you can't say tranny?
I can legally drop the N-word. I'm allowed to drop the N-word. I have an unlimited N-word pass.
You heard it here, folks.
I came out of a black man's penis.
Wait a second.
Originally did. I mean, biologically.
You guys, anyone who's watching on the YouTube, if you're just listening, you got to just get on YouTube and get a gander at this fella.
Wait a minute, he's white?
Oh my fucking god.
No, we're having fun. We're having fun.
Yeah, this is great. This is
We could we could get into like something real.
Yeah.
We're just
no,
having a
but
good
to
time.
finish off the conversation, because I do think it should be addressed. It is shitty to burn people. I think I've grown a lot as a DJ since then. I've kind of started taking just the etiquette a little bit more serious. You got to understand, like, I kind of got thrown into a pretty high position pretty quickly in my career with Whiskey Row. Like, it was just one of those pieces all fell together. And I didn't really have the etiquette. I was still just a druggy DJ boy who could play big rooms and did a good job. And I never really had to deal with like someone maybe a little bit more notable coming in, or someone maybe a little bit more respected coming in, and having to like navigate that terrain in a talent sense.
Yeah.
Anytime that somebody big came in, I was just the opener, and then they do whatever they need to. So I do regret a little bit. And that's not the only time I've ever burned somebody. I think a lot of us have been in that position where you've either been burnt or burned somebody. And it's not a great feeling, but I think I've grown a lot as a DJ and learned just kind of how to do the opening sets and be able to... I feel like Friday was a good example. Like, we were both able to hold the room, but I was very much still trying to like leave room for you to do your thing. And I think that's how it should go. So... Yeah.
Well, I had nothing to do that night, so I appreciate it. But I would even say that politicking with people and networking and being a good person that people remember as like a good human is so much more impactful and effective in this space than just being a great DJ.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like, your set was great. At that night that we're talking about, not Friday, was also great, but we're talking about when you fucking played Ski Yee and No Hands,
Rich
and
Flex
Flex, and every single song that at the club wanted to hear. It was great. I mean, we could obviously tell, like, okay, he's a dope DJ, cool, but like, what does that mean? He's, you got the sync button on. It's not that hard these days.
Yeah, I do that quite often, actually. I throw that sync button on. I get like 2 or 3 drinks in, and I'm like, we just throw it on.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll even put on Quantize.
Quantize helps sometimes. I'm still figuring out how to... when I go to loop something at half a bar with my Quantize on, it generally goes to a full bar.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
It might just be kind of like a skill issue.
No, it's definitely a setting.
I mean, it could probably be. It might be a skill issue too. It just keep working on it.
Yeah, I have to go to Stephen Leone's studio and figure out these CDJ 3000s.
You'll get it figured out, dude.
Yeah,
I'll send you like some like a YouTube kind of.
Yeah, do you have any tutorials that helped you out?
Yeah, if you watch the Platform podcast with DJ Dex,
yeah,
he does a lot of like very informative tutorial kind of based stuff.
I don't think he does that at all, actually.
You gotta pay for the.
I don't think he's ever done that once, actually.
No, he does. Sometimes he'll bring on guys like DJ Diesel. Like some more like talented guys.
Hold on, back up. That's Mr. Diesel.
That is true. I do like the rebrand. I do like the rebrand. I would suck if you like had a name like Strategy.
Yeah.
And then Shaquille O'Neal took your name.
Well, my name is actually filed and copywritten, so.
Oh, really? You can do that with a name?
No matter how big Shaq is, no pun intended, he couldn't take my name.
That is true. Didn't Gordo do that though?
Gordo, which Gordo?
Isn't like OG Gordo like trademark his name, and then Carnage Gordo was just like fuck you.
OG Gordo, Chicago Gordo.
Yeah.
You know Gordo?
I know of Gordo.
You know of Gordo?
Yeah.
The legend. Pablo.
The man. Love to meet him.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what happened with that, to be honest. I've been trying to get Gordo on the pod for years now, and he did tell me 2025 is the year.
He told me that tattoo.
So hopefully we'll get him in here to figure it out.
To be continued.
Oh, but he can't.
He doesn't. That's like one thing he doesn't want to talk about, I guess. So
Legally and personally talk about it.
Oh, we're getting into like sharky water here with this one.
I think we started off in a bloodbath.
Yeah. This is going fucking awful. Well,
This
I
is
don't
the
know,
best
actually.
pod
This is-
ever.
Yeah, this might be going very well. Ratings
it-
will probably be great. I look awful. That's great. I'm going to have to issue a statement after this one.
Yeah, I mean, you took a razor blade to your face. You're always going to look awful.
It's a tattoo. It's not a razor blade. I thought about doing the razor blade. Do you know how I got this why I got this tattoo?
No, tell me about it.
My favorite porn star has this tattoo.
Peter North does not have that tattoo.
No, it's a girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
who?
Don't worry about that.
What's her name?
I don't know her personally.
Well, what's her porn name?
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Are you gonna get weird if I jerk off to a girl that you like on the screen?
I'm going to get weird if you jerk off to a girl that has the same face tat as me.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
But
I'll
then
find
sometimes
her.
I jerk off to a girl with the same face tat as me, which
Well,
I think
that-
is poetic.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Either way, I don't know how we got on that, but let's talk about music.
Okay,
Maybe.
we can kick it into gear here.
Yeah, kicking into gear.
What you're a producer
Hmm.
by trade, DJ by default,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You never wanted to be a DJ. You're just like, I want to make music and then I can also make money in this lane.
Yeah.
Right? Is that
Yeah. So like I was like a guitar player, dude. Like I was playing guitar and I was taking it really seriously. And then I got to college in Nashville and everyone is just badass at guitar. So it was for me, it was kind of a humbling thing where I was like, I don't know if this is going to be it for me. I got into music production. I kind of dove deep into that in college.
what was your entry into production? What were you making?
I was making like pop kind of stuff. When I was in college, like Dua Lipa was really starting to pop off, and everyone wanted to sound like her, like that new disco, funky stuff, which was fun for me because I was a guitar player. So I was like, oh, I can like really get funky here. And so I would do like $50 tracks for my friends, and it kind of would turn into like $100 tracks. And as I got better, I would charge people more. And then I was like, dude, I should just do my own shit. And I graduated during COVID. So like I was able to do the studio stuff, but I wasn't making as much money as I would have liked to. And I got a job at a place that will not be named. Fuck this place. On Broadway. Fuck it, I'll say. Fuck that place. I got a job there being the music booker. And then I realized how much I was paying the DJs. And I was like, dude, I should just be a DJ. We probably should cut out the fuck.
Oh, here we go. He's regretful.
Yeah.
We can beep it out. It's
No.
fine.
Wait, this isn't the same.
Yeah, so they're a company.
I don't think they exist then anymore. Do they? Did they get bought out?
No, they still, from what I know, they still exist.
I thought they got bought out.
Yeah.
By,
Yeah, so there's like a bunch of drama. There's like the whatever.
Very exciting news. Brand new sponsor for the show. Shouts to Long Drink. They see the vision. If you guys like what's going on here, you got to go buy some Long Drink. Thank you for watching. We'll be right back. Check this out. All right, party people, you know how it is. Late nights, great music, and that perfect vibe. And what's a better way to elevate the night than with a refreshing drink in your hand? I'm talking about the Finnish Long Drink. If you haven't heard of it yet, the Long Drink is not just any drink. It's a legendary Finnish favorite that's been around since the 1952 Summer Games. It's a deliciously refreshing blend of premium liquor, natural grapefruit flavor, and just the right amount of carbonation. It's smooth, crisp, and perfect for any occasion, whether you're chilling with friends, getting the weekend started, or just winding down after a set. And the best part? It's super convenient. No need to be a mixologist. Just crack the can and you've got a perfectly mixed, ready to drink cocktail. Whether you're into the classic, zero, or strong, there's a Long Drink for everyone. So next time you're tuning into the show or spinning your own beats, grab a Long Drink and take your night to the next level because good vibes deserve great drinks. Cheers to the perfect mix. music and Long Drink. Let's go, champ. Let's get back to the show. Thank you guys for watching. Shouts to Long Drink. Make sure you go grab one. Peace. Well, let's unpack a few things here real quick.
Okay.
Everything you're talking about right now is all happening in Nashville, right? You're
Correct.
from Nashville.
Yeah.
You went to school in Nashville.
Yeah.
You played guitar in Nashville.
Yeah, sure.
You burned a lot of bridges in Nashville.
No.
This is all this is all Nashville.
No.
Okay, so we got that.
I did burn a few bridges in Nashville.
So we got that.
Yeah.
Why fuck this company?
It's not a real fuck this company. They just kind of treated their employees like shit. But I will say I am grateful that I was able to get introduced into nightlife that way. So I am grateful for them. You know how it is when you work somewhere and you have difference of opinion.
I don't know necessarily. I'm not a big like I'm pissed off, fuck everyone, I'm burning everybody and fucking shutting this whole thing down. I'm more of like a thinker, so I can't relate to you on that. That's kind of an emotional response, maybe a younger man's
This might have
game.
been the worst decision ever to come onto this spot. I should have known what I was walking into.
Well, I mean, obviously I'm joking and we're having fun, but
Yeah.
truly, like, that's not something that I can really relate to. I've definitely had my my blow-ups, and if Dolo was here, he'd tell you all about them. He likes to count them and remember them very vividly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But truly, no, that's not something I connect with.
Yeah.
Just
It's been an interesting journey
yeah. And,
for me as an individual.
How old are you?
26.
26.
Yeah.
You're still pretty young. You're getting in there.
Yeah, like
and it seems like you're learning lessons. Maybe you've gone off, the rails a couple times, but you seem to be holding yourself accountable and growing, which is that's the most important.
I just kind of had to like geez, I feel like this is like a tell-all right now. I feel like you got me in the hot chair.
It's this is real shit, real convo.
I mean, dude, like straight up, like it's weird, man. Like when you get a little bit of like, I don't know, dude, if you fall in love with music and you're like, I want to do music my whole life, and then you are able to start actually doing that and people start taking you seriously, and like your city is like, yo, we want to put you in these rooms, like we want you to be kind of the guy at Whiskey Row or the guy wherever. It's really hard for that not to get to your head, especially at a young age. So like when you're so passionate about something and then you start to see a little bit of success from it, you're like, man, like this is awesome. This is fucking sick. So yeah, naturally for me, it was like, damn, like I'm popping off right now. And there was a lot of arrogance. And anybody who knew me in like 2022 would tell you like I was an asshole. Like there's venues in Nashville that I can't even step foot in because I was a dick. We know the venues. But I had to be humbled. And honestly, moving to New York was the most humbling thing I've ever done in my entire life because no one gives a fuck there. They don't care if you're a good DJ in Nashville. It's like it's like going from the minor leagues to the major leagues. And for me, it was almost like I was restarting. I got to New York and I was playing like STK. Like I wasn't playing nightclubs. Coming from Whiskey Row, I mean, which Whiskey Row, I don't know if they market themselves as a nightclub, but I would argue they have bottle service. They have a lighting team. They have an audio team. Like
I don't know much about Nashville. You'd probably be able to tell me more, but I think that was one of the more original like nightclubs to pop up over there.
Yeah.
Like it's mostly all live music. And then I went to Nashville maybe 2017, 18.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find a DJ anywhere. There was one spot that had a DJ on the third floor that me and my boy went to, but it was all live music. And then I remember when Whiskey Row went over there and they were fucking, did the whole nightclub thing. To me, from looking from the outside, felt like that was like the start of kind of what's happening now.
Yeah.
Where everywhere has a DJ on some floor, right?
Yeah, like after 10 p.m., I think everybody has a DJ.
Is that correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's correct.
But like, isn't it more of like a kind of a recent thing to have DJs on Broadway like that?
But I wouldn't say all of those spots are still are considered nightclubs. Like I think you have your spots that kind of fall into that realm, but all of those places are like hybrids. So even like your Barstool is a clubby place at night, but they still have like a band during the day.
Yeah,
it's more of kind of like that honky tonk vibe because all the tourists there, you have such a mixing pot of tourists. And when you think Nashville, you're not thinking nightclubs. You think Miami for nightclubs or Vegas for nightclubs, but you're in Nashville, like, oh, honky tonk. But yeah, I mean, it was really, really cool being a part of one of the cooler clubs in a city at a young age, doing something that I really loved, making a shit ton of money. And I think, I think that it was really difficult for me to navigate that mentally. It was just, it was like, fuck, I'm the guy, I'm the man. And I had to really zoom out. My even in the last year, like my view on who I am as an artist and who I am as a creative and a DJ has changed a lot, and for the better, I'd say. I think I'm making a lot of strides to be a better, to your point, being a good person. I think that that's a really valid and important thing to highlight. So, yeah.
Tight. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I feel like I see it.
Yeah.
And I don't even know you that well, but just from the first time I met you, where you were a complete piece of shit, you're a little bit less of a piece of shit now.
Yeah, I'd say probably about 50% less of a piece of shit.
No, I'm kidding.
Should we talk about your like old Twitter, maybe?
Yeah, well, do you have any screenshots or anything like that?
I can pull some stuff up.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, I want to ask, like, okay, you say it was hard to navigate. You were young and like you were the man, right?
Yeah.
So when you moved to New York, were you thinking like, yo, I'm the fucking man here and I'm going over there and like I'm about to take over?
It was the same mentality I brought to the table the night that I met you. It was
really,
it was the mentality of my
crazy to me.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, sometimes I'm jealous of people that have that kind of confidence. I don't necessarily have that kind of confidence.
Yeah.
I may come off like that. I don't know, but like I don't like it's almost admirable and kind of cute, to be honest.
Yeah.
Cuz you're going from Nashville to New York and you think you're about to fucking shit on everybody? That's crazy.
No, dude, like it was this idea of like my talent will carry me. Like I'm good. I'm a good DJ, so my talent's going to carry me through whatever. And dude, you get to New York and it's like, how many people can you bring? Like, who do you know? How many tables can you sell? Like, how long have you been in the game? What other clubs have you played? Oh, you've played there. We don't fuck with that place. We're not booking you. Oh, you know this guy. We don't fuck with this guy. We're not booking you. Like, all the politics are really intense. You could be the best DJ on earth, but if you fuck around with the wrong people, you piss off the wrong people. Dude, so the head booking guy at all of Tao, like Tao's main guy. I'm not gonna name him. I'm not gonna name this guy. Dude. I used to follow him on Instagram, and like him and the person, I was watching stories. All right, I thought the story that he had posted was the person before him, so I slid up on the story talking shit. He posted a photo of a venue that they book, and I slid up and I was like, "Yo, that venue is cool if they paid more than like $50 an hour or some shit." And I sent it to the booking guy, and it went into like his invite. Like on Instagram how it goes into the invite. You can't unsend an invite message.
No way.
You can, but you got to get on a computer and log in on like your web browser.
Did you do that?
I was like scrambling. I stopped what I was doing, turned on my Mac, opened up Instagram. My boy Neil told me that there is probably a 90% chance that he saw it.
It's probably.
So
shouts to Neil Jackson.
Yeah.
Who I feel like he's helping you out too, and there's really nobody better in the world than Neil to help you out. He's very calculated and knows his way around this world and gives great advice and like all that shit.
Neil is like one of those people. Me and Neil have this joke. I mean, I always call him like an old head because he just really has like this wisdom about him. Yeah. Which is like,
he should have one of those like radon hats, from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Dude, I think Neil has been in the game and been in the game in New York for so long that he's like one of those people where you'll be like, oh dude, like I really want to play at this spot, and he'll be like, oh, my boy so and so books that place, or oh, you should have.
He knows everybody.
He knows everybody. Dude, yeah. But he's also just like a really, really good person. He's just got a great heart, and he's like one of those guys who like is down to bring in like a younger dude, and I want to give myself a little bit more credit. I'm not a piece of shit. I feel like Zach has made me sound like a piece of shit.
I did say that with I was joking. You're not.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah,
say
yeah.
you're a piece of shit.
I think,
But I think you're a growing young man, and I think that you are a prime example of like coming in swinging, but then being like, wait a second, maybe I should fucking.
I think that's the whole theme of today's conversation so far.
Coming in swinging.
Coming in swinging.
Yeah.
I think that we did that in the podcast. I think that was a nice like imagery or like a metaphor for how we first met.
Yeah.
This is like a art piece, actually.
I'm really enjoying it thoroughly. And I mean, to me, that's what a podcast is, right? Like, I'm not trying to have you just come on here and recite some story that you created last night, thinking about what you're going to say on here or whatever. It's about seeing who you actually are as a human being and having fun, and we're joking, and you're,
Yeah, I appreciate that. One thing about you is I never know when you're fucking joking.
yeah, I that's kind of my thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm sort of dry.
Yeah, but I like it. I think it's funny. I did have a question for you.
What do you got?
These are like hypotheticals. If you could only wait, the first question I wrote down on this: how do you recover from being burnt as a headlining DJ?
I mean, is there really a such thing as being burnt to the point that there's no recovery? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could play every single song that I wanted to play, and then I have to get up there and play something that'll work in the room, but it's not necessarily what I was planning on. And then you weren't on the mic at all. You didn't touch the mic once. I can get on the mic, and it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing something completely different than you were doing, even though you had the room for sure.
Yeah.
Now I got the room, but from a different grasp. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I guess I the way I look at it, and I think my whole like argument at that time, and obviously I've kind of gotten deeper into the open format world, so I understand kind of that side of it. But I was always like, dude, I don't think you can burn someone unless you just play their music straight up. That'd be like if, I played only strategy edits, or like, if you were like, you had music, like your biggest song, and I came out and played a remix of it or some dumb shit. I feel like that to me is like, in my opinion, way bigger of a deal. Because then it's like, okay, like that'd be like if I was opening up for Zed and I played Clarity.
right.
It would be like, first off, they'd probably mute me. They'd probably kick me off the stage and mute me.
Yeah, it wouldn't go well.
But it would ruin the entire night because, that's his biggest song, and he's going to probably end with that song, and now they've all already heard it, and, But for something like No Hands, that is implied. That song is going to be played at the clubs, usually more than once in one night. I guess I struggled really hard in that time I was trying to figure out why were you so mad? I was like, what is the problem?
It's more of like, I mean, there's two different aspects to it, and one's more important than the other. I think the first aspect is taking care of the room itself and maximizing its potential to make money and like stay relevant for a longer period of time. And like, if you just burn everyone out from 10 to 12, maybe you're playing at a spot that's got a line down the block, and that doesn't matter because they'll leave by midnight and it's packed right back up with a bunch of new people.
Yeah.
So that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Right.
That's the lesser important part of it. The most important part to me is the relationship you have with the other DJ.
Yeah.
Like if you're up there burning someone, just not even knowing, not even understanding what you're doing, that's one thing. But if you're up there like, yo, fuck these guys, if they can't do it after me, they shouldn't be doing it at all.
Yeah,
like just that attitude.
That's the energy is there. Come on, you like that? You heard how that rolled right off his tongue, though. It felt kind of good to say, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, no, I've never.
No.
That's not my thing. I'm not.
Fuck these dudes.
That's the real biggest issue with it in the terms of what we're talking about. But like, you're right. When you play Zed's song before him, you're fucking up the night for the people there.
Yeah.
Too. when you're playing no hands before me and Cutswell, you're not. They're having a great time.
Yeah.
We're like, if it was just that and there was like, it was in the midst of like a bunch of other cool opening shit, it'd be like, all right, whatever. But we both knew exactly what was happening.
Is it
you know
more
what I'm saying? We
of
both
like,
looked at each other and then looked at you, and you were fucking mixing all this shit, looking back at us. Fucking.
Yeah, dude. I was like bricked up too. I was like eye contact. No, the funniest part of this whole night was Benny. I'm gonna call him. I like that.
Benny's good. He likes Benny.
I like that. Benny brought me a shot at the end of my set, and 90% of my mind was like, this shit is roofied. I was like, this dude is going to fuck my night up.
Fuck your
the way that
maybe.
I fucked him up. Yeah, dude, I was terrified to take that shot. And
Did
he
you take
said,
it?
I took it. I remember vividly, he walked up to me and he was like, this was the most passive aggressive thing I've ever done in my entire life. He walked up to me and was like, dude, like, you only played bangers. And I looked at him and I said, thank you. And then I fucking left, dude. I did not watch a single second of your set. I pulled my stick and I was out.
Yeah, is that's what I'm saying. So like, let me pee real quick.
No, you're good. I have a question for you when you come back.
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul. It'll usually show when the truth ain't told. Use a lie.